People are strange. Something strange.
Is that strange?
That is strange.
That is strange.
Wow, that is strange. This is strange.
The aliens are here, everybody. The aliens are coming. We got a lot of news to talk about, you guys. There's some crazy stories happening right now. Hopefully we can keep it light and fun today because, my oh my. We had a story about 23&Me. There's a CIA whistleblower claiming that the genetic tests are being used to find alien DNA. Okay? Then we have this Google is releasing genetically modified mosquitoes or skeeters, whatever you want to call them down there. You know, he's
Skeet.
reading them skeeters. And then we have these sonic booms that are just happening. Everybody's reporting sonic booms, and we've seen booms in the news before, Flex. So I wanted to get your opinion on all of this. How's it going, brother?
Well, it's going.
Yeah.
It's going. Did you do 23&Me? What did you do?
Don't even get me started. Yeah, dude. They wanted to search my DNA for alien shit, I guess.
Well, you're hiding alien in your hair. I know you are, brother.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at the picture of the alien here.
It's up there
in
somewhere.
Your hair, but yeah, I have my thoughts on what's going on with the alien stuff, which we talked about the last bit, and I'll bring it up again today. Why I think they're bringing it up. I don't think they can get away with a Project Bluebeam type thing right now. I don't think they can. I don't think they have the technology to do that. But they are pushing very hard on this disclosure. And it doesn't surprise me because, again, the more we talk about aliens and sonic booms and GMO mosquitoes, skeets, the less we talk about Epstein, you know, so.
Right. Yeah, it does just take away from the Epstein stuff. And hey, that's going to be our stance from here going forward. Anything that's in the news is to distract you from Epstein.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah. Or something that's being passed, some law that's being passed or bill or whatever. So yeah, it's one or the other. Totally.
Exactly. So this story. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on 23&Me here? You already mentioned that I used it. Yes. Yeah, no, I remember you said when you guys did Pardon My American, you brought it up one time and we all gave you shit. It's horrible.
We all gave you shit in the chat. And that was 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, we were wise to this. But I feel like even with the little c, big V, or big C, little v, whatever you called it, sticking the thing up your nose. Oh, yeah. You know, we don't know what was on that, but I was hearing that a lot of those tests were going to China so they can take your DNA. Correct. Because they want to they could use your DNA to target people with biological warfare viruses. So if they want to get just rid of Greeks like me or white folks with big hair like Greg, they could do it. You know, that is what I think this whole genetic gathering of data is all about. It's about isolating a target group, a victim group, right? Creating some sort of virus or something that could attack that group, and then creating the cure to cure that virus or whatever you just released, right? So it's like the holy grail of, hey, what's our target audience here? You know what I mean? And the bottom line is all surveillance, all data gathering information for the AI and the data centers so they can know more about us. So again, they check off the boxes with, hey, if we can do this, we can poison people, then give them the cure, which they make the money on both ways. Depopulate, great, check that box is checked. Come up with some new hybrid alien life form, that box is checked. You know, like there's a lot of boxes they check all this, because I find it quite funny that we haven't heard anything about what's that virus that was on that cruise ship? The Hanta. It's Hanta. It's gone. It's gone. It's a haunted memory. But actually, that's it. I just saw an update today. So they are moving those victims. I keep saying victims. They are victims. Yeah, they're moving the people who were susceptible to the infection. I don't know where, but they're moving them today. Yeah. But there's going to be like 3 weeks of kind of restricted whatevers, right? But like going back to genetically modifying viruses as weapons
to attack certain groups, right? I remember there was this clip of Robert Kennedy Jr. talking about Ashkenazi Jews and COVID-19. Okay. And he was referring to COVID-19 as some sort of racial bioweapon. It was designed because it disproportionately targeted white and black people, but Chinese and Ashkenazi Jews weren't affected, or at least they were very minimally affected, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So check this clip out. This is, we haven't seen this clip in a long time. So I just wanted to kind of remind everybody that this was kind of a thing back then, right?
And we need to talk about bioweapons. The level, I know a lot now about bioweapons because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years, and you know, the technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure of genetic differentials among different races of the receptors.
Get to the point, bro.
Of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese. But we don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna stop, dude. This guy is so hard to listen to. Like, not just his voice, but like he just goes on and on, worse than Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. He needed just to be like, hey, the sequence is like this, the target this. He's in a loud room. He has that issue with his throat. And you know, I was all for this guy when he was like, you know, they won't let me go to the debates, you know, and if I could go and debate Trump on the whole warp speed stuff, and then he gets into the administration, and I said, okay, it's the superpower administration, and the administration hasn't done anything now.
Well, he's just always been kind of, he's been creepy, dude. He reminds me of like that creepy. Well, he's the guy who gets creepy. Like his body's nice and he's like fucking 80 years old. And it's just like he's cheated on his wife numerous times. It's just like, I think he's getting into politics to get the little poo-tang on the side. That's his real poo-tang. Yeah. I don't think he really cares about helping people.
Anybody in politics, and I'd probably say 95%, maybe even more, are all in it for the wrong reasons. There are some good people that are in there. I have friends that work for the government. Yeah, I'd say like they start out like with good intentions, but then just get corrupted, and they're frustrated because they can't do anything because it's just this cabal. It's just this. Yeah, they don't. They know it, but it's a paycheck for them, right? And it's a pension down the road for them. So what can you do? You know, absolutely. And the big players who are already have been there, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, they're like, hey, this is our world you're stepping into. You think you're going to come here and just change it? No, that ain't happening. And that world that we're talking about, and I really am starting to think these world leaders, these people that you just mentioned, Pelosi and whoever, I believe they're all aliens. I believe they're just evil people. They might be. You have to be that evil to do what they're doing, especially to kids. And then how do you govern that? How do you prosecute someone that is not human? Yeah. It's half and half. And that's why I think they're pushing this. Yeah, that's a good segue. To be like, it's a good segue into the story because like this whistleblower, so he claims the CIA used DNA data from Ancestry and 23&Me customers in search for aliens, right? So going through this article, we learn that the man who provided this information is, what's his name? I hate how this thing pops up. Is he dead? No, he's much alive, and I'll show you, I think, why. Jason Reza Georgiani. He's a PhD. He's a philosopher, novelist, and he was discussing this so-called top secret program on an episode of the podcast American Alchemy. He claimed,
Yeah, he claimed that he was alerted. So this is kind of a convoluted story here, but he was alerted to this bug hunting initiative by an Army veteran named Lynn Buchanan. And Lynn Buchanan claimed that he was a psychic spy with the CIA's remote viewing program, which investigated whether individuals could use, extrasensory perception to conduct these distant objects and all that stuff, right? So Giorgiani said that Buchanan had informed him that a former CIA analyst and UAP specialist, Christopher Kit Green, had devised a backdoor way of accessing 23&Me and Ancestry to screen for users for genetic variances linking to non-human beings. Okay. And so it's like this. Giorgiani told me that Buchanan told me that the CIA analyst told me that it's like a game of telephone. You know what I mean? But apparently this Christopher Kit Green was a notable part of this remote viewing program in the 1970s, but left the intelligence agency long before founding the DNA detective sites. Buchanan reportedly learned of this so-called campaign after being approached at a dinner by 3 individuals claiming to be Nordics. Aliens, bro. These were tall, blue-eyed, blonde visitors from the beyond that are said to be living covertly among us.
Yeah.
And
that kind of ties into what we were talking about before we started.
Yeah, dude, Nancy Pelosi's a Nordic? No, she's not a Nordic. She's got to be something.
Well, she's
creepy.
a Nordic somewhere else. She's not this way. She's this way with
jugs
with her boobs.
Yeah,
but
she's got
with
those milkers.
With the disclosure that they've got like 4 different types of aliens roaming this world, and the one is this tall Nordic type. This is what their rendition here on. Yeah.
I don't know. This is like the craziest website here, but anyway. This is the quote that Giorgiani said. They live in small towns like Colorado Rockies, and they pass because they look like tall Scandinavian people. And Buchanan added that the trio had requested his help in avoiding detection by the CIA. So like these Nordic aliens don't want to be detected. This alien race has allegedly traveled to our planet via underground railroads of sorts so they could escape their tyrannical government. These alien beings supposedly procreated with humans, so they mated with humans and birthed a line of intergalactic mixed race children with the goal of having their future generations grow up in a free society, bro.
Crazy.
And look at this. Look, they said, look, our children, especially our grandchildren, have no idea where they're from. He's describing their so-called close encounters. We tell them stories about how, like, their grandparents were from Sweden or whatever, and they just don't know. We want them to have lives of peace and liberty here in America. And look at this creepy rendition here. This looks like Lady Gaga, doesn't it? Little Asian version of Lady Gaga.
Lady Goo.
There you go. So this I just wanted to finish off with this right here. It says, in a controversial study this past fall, geneticist Dr. Max Rempel asserted that aliens might have abducted us and inserted genes into the human DNA, with the fallout affecting potentially millions of people. And so, like, inserting DNA, where have we heard that before? Inserting things that can change our DNA? Millions of people have done this because of a disease that went around the world.
That's what I was saying with the PCR test, right? Sticking stuff up your nose.
Yeah, just the miracle medicine provided by Donald Trump. You know,
so I don't even think about the actual this. I think the actual putting this thing up their nose,
right?
You know, and messing around with the brain blood barrier and your pineal gland. So yeah,
it could be. But look at this though. This is how they finish the story. Although he said that the intergalactic DNA infusion is not necessarily a bad thing. So I think that they're referring to is this Dr. Max Rempel. It is. So Rempel said, we need to consider how much alien hybridization is healthy for the planet, in which alien races we might give priority. Like, what?
Priority to who? Why?
hybridization, so like us hybridizing with aliens is healthy for the planet? That's like next level, bro. Like that's like, the sustainment goals with the WEF. What if they come out, hey, breed with an alien? We want every human to breed with an alien by the year 2050.
Listen, if Pornhub starts with that, and all of a sudden Pornhub's got a whole section of alien inbreeding, it will pass.
It's a good point.
It will pass.
Well, that's slowly indoctrinating people into wanting to get people to have sex, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, look at this sexy alien. So here I have a clip of this guy. Or at least I did. Yes. So this guy, dude, I want to get into him just a little bit because I don't trust him. Shocker, I know. I don't trust somebody, but
Greg doesn't trust him.
So listen to what...
But it's on the internet.
Listen to what he says here.
He said, look, we know that Kit Green at the CIA has some program to access the 23&Me and like whatever Ancestry.com databases through some backdoor, and that they are screening the entire, whoever signs up for these services, for a specific genetic variance from the normal Homo sapiens population, which the CIA knows to be the genetic marker of these Nordics. And they said, look, our children, especially our grandchildren, have no idea where they're from. We tell them stories about how like their grandparents are from Sweden or whatever. And they don't know, we just want them to have lives of peace and liberty here in America. But the CIA wants to hunt them down. And and this was why they met with Lynn. They said, would you please go back to these people and tell them we are not trying to take over your government. We just want to live here in peace and to please leave our children alone.
Please leave our children alone.
Listen, I don't trust anyone whose head is that oily and that sweaty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, put some talcum powder on there. Listen, I'm in film. We'd have a makeup person come over. The lights can be hot. The makeup person would come over and dab them a little bit. But I think he's telling partly the truth on some stuff, but he's got a bit of a little bit of a glare there.
He is shiny AF, dude. That's suspicious.
He's got a big forehead too. I think it's the forehead. It's not a forehead, it's a 5 head. That's how big it is. It's got its own zip code.
Right. In the room, because you're like, maybe the room's hot, but this guy's definitely not sweating and he's in a jacket. So I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, they should have gone over and just, dabbed him up a little bit, and or he's an alien and he doesn't want to shapeshift in front of them. You know what I mean?
Well, so I looked this guy up, this Jason Reza Giorgiani, whatever the hell his name is, and you go to his Wikipedia page. Giorgiani's ideas have been described by journalist Olivia Goldhill as influenced by the Dark Enlightenment philosophy, and so that is traditionalism. Steve Bannon. All of these guys like Elon Musk, they want to go back to make America great again. That's what the traditionalism from the occult really is. And I know Isaac Weishaupt has done like a 4-part series on the Dark Enlightenment. You guys should go watch that stuff. But check this out, though. The Prometheus Manifesto. So he created this thing called the Prometheus Manifesto. He criticized the modern concept of God as jealous and tyrannical, wrathful father, archetypally identified to Zeus. Instead, Giorgiani supported the idea of the myth of Prometheus as the creator of man and likened the fire that he stole from Olympus as a symbol of the power of technology and science to free humanity from scarcity and ignorance. So this guy's all about this alien technology, bro. And not only that, but you look up his website. This is jasonrezagiorgiani.com. It goes on and talks about his endeavors here. So he joined this alt-right movement with Richard Spencer. He co-founded Alt-Right Corporation with Richard Spencer. And Richard Spencer back in the day was like the Nazi guy that, he was saying, hail Trump and all this stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
But look at this. So he says, my aim was to transform the American alt-right and European new right into a global movement based on cosmopolitan vision of Indo-European inter-civilizational unity, whatever the fuck that means.
Good Lord.
Spanning from the West to Russia, Greater Iran, Greater India, and the Buddhist world led by Japan. In this period, I had significant dealings with Israel and openly identified myself as a Zionist.
There it is.
To the extent of coining the term Iranian Zionism. So you have to wonder, what's this guy's agenda? He's a night.
What pin is he wearing there?
Well, good idea. I don't know. What is this? What is
that? Star Trek? Nanu?
What is the pin? I honestly don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, let me know.
I guarantee you Richard would know. Richard, you're in the chat.
It's like the Dark Enlightenment pin or something. But I'm just saying, like, the guy's a proclaimed Iranian Zionist. He believes in the Dark Enlightenment. He wrote the Prometheus Manifesto, where he loves this science and technology to free humanity. And he's the one telling us about this, like, DNA infusing thing. You know what I mean?
That's why I think there's a little bit of truth there and a little bit of, shady shit. It's been half and half, right? They're kind of telling you, well, like they tell us ahead of time with most things. And then they're a little shady on the side there with their oily, sweaty little foreheads.
Right. He's sweating too much to be telling the truth, right?
Yeah. It's just like, bro, you're not on trial.
Yikes. Sorry about playing that. But here, check this out. So this is also like everybody's talking. We were just talking about this before the show, is like everybody and their mom is coming out talking about alien disclosure, aliens. This is the Nike basketball account on X. Greetings, NBA Finals. And this is what they like. NBA Finals. What does this have to do with aliens at all? And this is what they post, is like the Space Needle kind of thing, right?
This is in Seattle.
Yeah, and it looks like a UFO with a picture of an alien.
Can you see that from your house, Greg? Are you that close to Seattle?
Oh, no. Definitely not. Yeah, so... but look at what it says. Look at what it says.
Yeah.
He has arrived.
He has arrived.
What? He has arrived, period. Very strange. And you were talking about like the White House, right? Because the White House was putting out all these weird videos, these cryptic videos.
And I think they're saying it's because of something else, like, illegal immigrants, because they were getting they were getting shit on. I don't think it was. I think they're using the illegal immigrant stuff to camouflage what's going on.
You think so? They literally came out and said, deport criminal.
Yeah, I think they have to disclose what's happening, because it's going to come out. People are going to question why they haven't done anything about the Epstein files and why they haven't done anything with this corruption and this. Did we lose your microphone there? Oh, we lost Gregory.
Hello.
There now. You were there for a second.
Hello. Whoa.
There you go.
Oh boy. There might be a loose signal. Something is very loose back there, so I got to be real careful.
An alien.
Dang.
I think this is all for when the disclosure comes out. We will be in this dilemma of like, how do we deal with this? These weren't humans that were being psychopathic, satanic, blood-sucking, kid-killing people. They were half alien, half aliens.
Right.
Half human, sorry. I think it's coming. We were talking about that in our private chat one time on the phone call, being like, that's the question I proposed to everybody. I said, how do you govern this? How do you use the law to be like, well, this person's not really human, they're aliens. So that's where I think the one world government comes in and says we have to have a whole new law, a law that needs to change universally to go after the aliens that do this stuff. So the only way they can get the one world law government is to be, hey, we gotta say this shit's been done to kids, but it's not humans, it's aliens. How do we prosecute them?
Right. And it's like, how can we get around this and make people believe that we're not
That's the other part.
humans? So then maybe that's what we can blame on our painted DNA.
Yeah. Because you're going to have people that still don't believe the Epstein stuff, even though you could see every award show, every concert, every basketball, football game is a ritual. I just saw a video on it explaining that it's a ritual.
Well, and that Victor Wembanyama on the Spurs, he's 7'6", looks like a fucking alien already.
Yeah. There's that very famous video of Jordan running and going to grab the ball, and his arm extends super long.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
grabs it. And there's another one where the guy goes up in the air to slam dunk the ball, and his hands go right over it, his fingers. So again, I do believe this world is run by psychopaths, and I don't think the psychopaths are human. I think you have to be something else to be this evil. I don't think humans could do this to each other and kill each other and eat each other. And I don't know.
I don't know.
They can, but to this extent, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't want to give everybody the easy out and just like blame it on aliens. Like, I think humans can be fucking evil, bro.
But I think they're looking for the easy out, saying, well, how do we prosecute this? How do we do this? How do we do that?
Right.
And then you're going to have those people that won't believe it because they don't even believe this big C little V. They don't believe that this they did to them. They don't believe that this world is evil, like the people that run it. They still believe the government's there to protect them and serve them and whatever.
Well, yeah, like Shelly in the chat saying demons. It could be. Aliens could be demons. I don't know. Like this fact that like this, people are dead set that there's good aliens and bad aliens. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And, the same for people. Like, I think that there's good people and bad people, but a good person can do bad things. It's like, how do you describe somebody as evil or bad? Or like, what is I think the good and the bad exist in everybody. It's just... Yeah, certain things can bring the evil and push it over the edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the stuff that's in those files and what they're doing, and the fact that they had baby farms. Yeah, and that Jeffrey was using his DNA, and they were doing modifying testing and transhumanism. Like you just had the dude from Palantir move his family to Argentina. Like he's out of the U.S.
What if that's what Jeffrey Epstein? What if that's what he was doing at the ranch? Is he was creating these human hybrids? I know we talked about that, right? We didn't really.
Yeah. Oh, we lost you again. But yeah, no, that's how I look at it. Boom. Being like, boom.
Oh boy, it's getting messy back there.
It's getting messy. You're gonna have to tear all that down soon when you move.
Hello. Okay. I think I might have figured out the problem, but hey, we'll see. Anyway.
Yeah.
I do want to play this Disclosure Day trailer because this dropped 4 days ago, and it's very interesting, dude. Especially the very end. And so I want to kind of play the thing. We could discuss it because it has to do with this hybrid DNA thing.
Is this the movie that's coming out?
Yes.
And when's it out? July 4th?
July 12th.
12th, okay.
Yeah. So let's watch this together, and then we'll just play it in its entirety, and then we'll have some thoughts on it, okay? So, I mean, it's it makes you tingle when you watch it with the music, the dramatic effects, and then you get Steven Spielberg telling you, what if you find out it is true? You know what I mean?
That's
what?
Yeah. That's the truth part. Strip away the theatrical orchestra, the dramatic music, the visuals. Listen to what Steven's saying. He's saying what needs to be said, because again, they're going to pin all the bad stuff on this, and they're going to figure out a way that, hey, the only way we can move forward is and to prosecute or go after these bad aliens is we change it. I don't think they can do a Project Bluebeam and have this whole I don't think they can trick people. I think too much
Right.
of the population is awake to it now. But if all of a sudden this comes out like they are doing, and we're like, wow, okay, and we find out there's different versions of aliens, like there's 4 or 5 different types.
Mhm.
Maybe it's this one type that's the bad type, and that's the type that's Hollywood. Like Spielberg could be an alien, for
Right.
heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and the thing, like, people are noticing, and they're saying in the chats, the deer was in Leave the World Behind, right?
I was
And
thinking that too.
the deer also, if you guys ever watched The Leftovers, the deer was a symbol that was in the house and it was like going through this guy's house and destroying everything. And then he like had this personal entanglement with the deer. And it was like this, they're butting heads, but it represents some sort of spiritual change, and something big is about to happen. That's why whenever you see a deer in like movies or videos, stuff like that, it represents a change. Same thing with bats. Bats, like the Batman dressing up like Doja Cat has a gigantic thing of a bat on her.
And there's deers everywhere here. I was on the highway the other day, 9:00 at night, and I had to actually come to a complete standstill because a deer was crossing the highway. And they're beautiful looking animals, but maybe deers are aliens. You know, we don't know. Maybe moose are aliens. I don't know. We don't know. I like to see what they're going to pin it on.
Yeah, this is saying spiritual meanings and symbolism of deer. This is a random fucking website, okay? Deer symbolizes grace, gentleness, and intuition, encouraging a mindful and resilient approach to life's challenges. Deer's connection to nature's cycles represents an importance with harmony with the environment and embracing change. So it's all about change. Something big is coming. So,
which they say all the time, and I feel it's twofold. It's either something big is coming, and they're trying to tell us to prepare. You know, if you still believe in the plan, if you still believe in talking in code, I'm kind of like, just fucking tell us. Stop beating around the bush. Just come out and say it. But at the same time, if we always think something bad's going to happen, then you live in fear. And when you live in fear, it's easier to control. It's easier to divide. And your frequency is off.
Yeah.
And that's not how, as humans, we need to have our frequency at a high frequency. And that's why I just saw a video the other day about why all this crazy crap is happening now, is because the cabal, the Satanists, the Satanists, they're losing this war because people are waking up, and they're losing that energy that they need to live off of. So they're throwing everything out at the like throwing the spaghetti on the wall, see if it sticks. And I'm
which is like what the whole,
I can see that.
Yeah, that's what the whole Q thing said would happen, right? Like they're going to try everything in the book. But like, here's the thing is, when you hear frequency, we need to have a higher frequency. What does that mean to you?
I just feel like the body, we resonate at a certain frequency where they've actually purposely changed the tuning of instruments and music to a lower frequency. You know, the stuff that comes off our phones and computers. And I think what it does is it messes with your pineal gland. The third eye is what runs off of this you know what? Next time we'll talk about it in detail. I have a really good video that I've watched on it, because I've been really getting into that lately and being like, why is it that we feel like crap sometimes for no reason? It's like there's something in the air. There's something. It's like they turn on something and Greg just is in a bad mood today. Flex is in a bad mood today. And it's just like, why? What's going on?
Right.
And, you know, who knows with the 5 and 6G.
Well,
but it's just
because
they had these towers. They had back in the day, the churches and the towers were all built with the steeple, and they were all built with copper
and the bells, right?
And they had the bells, and that's why they got rid of all that, because that is what keeps us harmonized. You know,
dude, I heard that's what resets everything. Like it's that, like if you have a distorted frequency, the bell will equal you out, reset.
Having certain animals around you. So like I actually feel much calmer when my cat sits on my chest and is purring. The cat's purr can reset your frequency. And I can feel it. Yeah, I can feel it. He's somewhere here.
Because so when I hear frequency, it makes me think of like more like higher intuition. like
Yep.
precognition almost, where you're thinking something and you know it, or if you're trying to communicate with somebody, you think about them and then they call you, that kind of thing. That is more of the higher level frequency that I've personally like experienced.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whether it be thinking about somebody and then they call me, or thinking about doing something and then I see it happen, you know, by itself. And I'm like, oh, well,
yeah, that happens to me on a daily basis all the time. I have to start writing it down. Like I'll be thinking about something or whatever, and it happens. And I think when you're at that different frequency, and remember that frequency gets shut off by certain things. One, fluoride. That's why they have fluoride in the water. It calcifies your third eye.
Now, see,
right? Your chakra.
Let's stop right there, because this is something that I don't understand, because and maybe there's, you know, definite research on this, and maybe there's like stuff that needs to be researched on it, and maybe there's just no research because no one's going to fund this because they don't want people to know. I don't know. But like, how would the pineal gland work? And like, what is the calcification? Like, yes, it'll encapsulate it, make it hard so that way it's not exposed and it can't be attuned or something, right? But like, how would that work?
Because the pineal gland is right in the middle of your brain, so every part of your brain attaches to it. You know, your creative side, your logic side. So that's why I feel some people just can't wake up, because of stuff they've done to their body with fluoride, and the stuff they've had in the toothpaste and sunblock, like all the stuff like that we have put on our body that's not good for us,
right?
Can set off that frequency, which is controlled by your third eye.
So this is, I just looked this up really quick, and this is the medical term, you know, and this is just take it for what it is. The pineal gland is a small endocrine gland in the brain that produces melatonin, a hormone that helps regulate, right, sleep patterns, circadian rhythms. So people's hearts are getting out of control, maybe. I don't know.
Everything that's important to you. You have a bad sleep, you feel like shit and you want to beat people up. Well, that's just me. If I have a bad sleep, get out of my way at the gym. Yeah, I'm going to beat you up, you know, kind of. And it's just interesting, right? Like when that is being subjected and blasted by our phones, you know, by our wireless headphones, you know, I never talk on the phone. My phone's always on speakerphone. I charge my phone across the room from me. It's never by my bed and stuff like that. Well,
isn't it interesting? Like if you look at the brain, like it just looks like the eye of Horus, but like also,
but that's it. That's it. That is why they say it's the eye of Horus, because they have to control that part of it. And when they can control it by putting shit in our foods, our water, things that we wear, like spandex and stuff like that. Like we should be wearing cotton around our testicles and our lower body. We shouldn't be wearing spandex. That's that's a disruptor to our hormones. And basically that thing controls your heart and your sleep. And if you don't have those two things, you're fucked. Like you really are just, that's why I think people can't wake up. That's why people can't wake up.
Right.
It's not that they're brainwashed. Their pineal gland is just done.
Isn't that interesting though? We call it waking up with your pineal gland or pineal gland. When your pineal gland is meant to make you fall asleep with melatonin, right? Like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it regulates your circadian rhythm. And if you don't have a pineal gland, it says, yes, you can live without it, but you may experience a difficult time. Sleeping patterns and physiological functions.
But read that part again. If you don't have it, what happens to you? So if you don't have it because it has been calcified, it has been destroyed by stuff. That's why we're seeing people that have mental issues. You know, that's why we see, you know, mental instability in people just skyrocketed because of just the bombardment of all this stuff too that we're doing to our body just through food and water, but even what we consume through our Instagram and our newsreels, like that stuff numbs you. And that's why you'll have a headache and you're like, I'm numbed by this, because your brain can't take any more of it. That's what it's doing. And that's why I think when people don't have one, I don't mean it's been physically removed. I mean, it's just so damaged. It's an organ.
Yeah.
It's no different than Anything else?
So this is the clevelandclinic.org. Calcification of the pineal gland is quite common. In fact, it's so common that healthcare providers often use a calcified pineal gland as a landmark on x-rays to help identify different structures of the brain.
Yep.
It happens when calcium builds up in the body tissue, causing the tissue to harden. And it calcifies as you age, which is probably from all the shit that we put in our body.
On our body, in our body, like all that.
Ooh.
Not including all the 5G towers that are out, you know, and everything, just bombardment with radiation.
Right.
And like we said, these old churches and these old buildings that had the copper and the ether. That's why they took ether off the periodic table too, because it's all stuff that helps reset the body.
Right.
You know?
Well, and then like it is a pine cone shape. And
Yep.
then you have the 13-foot pine cone at the Vatican, dude.
Yep.
Like
They know.
like
They're
look at
not
it.
stupid. They know.
You know what I
Yep,
mean?
They know. That's why I was like saying to my friends, what are you sticking up your nose to find out whether you have something that doesn't show symptoms? I said, we don't know what's on the end of that Q-tip and what they've done. So that's why I feel they did some people I think have gotten crazier.
It could
Yeah.
be. It could be, dude. I don't know. And you mess
Yeah.
with people's sleep and it gets people crazy. I don't know.
Whew. You know, it's no different than taking a psychedelic drug or something. It's doing something to you for a short period of time, but the thing is, it's not a short period of time. We're constantly bombarded with our phones, the radiation, the water we drink, the food. So it's not. That's why we can't snap out of it. But I find it interesting that there are people in this world, such as ourselves and almost everybody in our chat or everybody here. Why are we awake to all this? Because
Right.
our third eye hasn't been destroyed yet. It still is our conscience. It still can lead us. It still can help us with using discernment, which I just find, you know, but that's why we have the NPC people that we talked about. I remember I asked Dexter one time and he goes, yeah, I saw on Joe Rogan or someone saying that 80% of the people don't have an inter monologue. Like they can't, like what?
Yeah.
You know?
It's
That could
literally
be
like the
this.
dead internet, but in real life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so interesting things to think about, you know what I mean? Like the interbreeding of aliens and maybe something to do with the pineal gland coming from an
Yep.
alien. I don't fucking
Yeah.
know.
Or the aliens don't have that, and that's why they breed with us, so they can have that.
Yeah.
Or the aliens gave it to us, you know. But the thing is, like we're talking about, like your next topic here about, you know, GMO mosquitoes. Like they keep throwing shit at us to keep us sick.
They do. Right.
You know?
And
like at this point, we got to be like, hey, yeah.
And they
come on.
claim, you know, this is next coming out of Google. So Google is planning to release millions of mosquitoes in California to help stop diseases. Now, this is several years ago. We had Bill Gates, the Bill and Melinda Gates funding Oxitec, which was a biotech company that created these genetically engineered mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same kind of mosquito, I believe. But like they're saying that they're seeking federal approval to release 32 million specially treated mosquitoes in California and Florida over the next 2 years as part of an effort to reduce the spread of mosquito-borne diseases. Now, they say that this is currently under review with the EPA. I guarantee it gets approved.
Of course.
But
it can't be real because it's only 32 million. It's not 33 million, Greg.
Well, yeah, you know.
It's got to be 33 million and then it's real. But again, why is Google doing this?
Exactly.
Google is a search engine.
Yes.
Why is Bill Gates
doing
dealing with
anything?
farms and vaccine? Like you're in computers. Like what the heck are these guys? Stop it.
Yeah, it says the project is part of Google's little-known debug initiative, launched more than a decade ago to develop new technologies aimed at reducing population of disease-carrying mosquitoes.
They're telling you the truth there, but take away disease-killing mosquitoes. What was the last thing you just said there? Reduce population. There's the truth.
That's
There's
true.
the truth, and then they add the other couple lines in or words in to be like, yeah, take that part out. They're
Yep.
telling you the truth right there where Gregory just highlighted. There it is, folks.
Yeah, they could have just stopped at populations there and then done and done.
Yeah. Yeah, but they didn't.
So, and that's the thing is they're trying to get rid of like West Nile virus, St. Louis encephalitis, whatever.
Bring it all on. We're a bunch of pansies now. Back in the day, you'd eat dirt and, whatever. Come on. Drink from the garden hose. Come on.
Yeah, and so when this is saying when the infected males mate with the wild female mosquitoes, the offspring do not survive, helping suppress the mosquito populations over time. Now, the thing that sucks about this, and because I did a whole episode on these genetically modified mosquitoes back in 2023, and there's certain studies that show that they try to create males, right? Because the males don't bite. The males are the ones that have to mate with the females. And if the male's sperm doesn't work, it's not going to produce an offspring, right? However, they sometimes produce females. And when you produce the female bites. And then the female can carry on the lineage of that gene. And so what happens is sometimes you have these populations come back even stronger. It's called hybrid vigor. And I remember that was my porn name. They stole my porn name, Hybrid Vigor. And so
mine was Lucky Lisgard.
Yeah, that's true. But like it just backfires on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like you're creating these insects that are the resistant to insecticides. Wow.
Yep.
Freudian slip there.
Oh, hey, that's where your head's at. But you're right.
Yeah. So like you basically create these giant mosquitoes that can live, and you have to kill them in different ways. And they don't do what you said they were going to do. Right. And that's just the problem is these things are not 100% foolproof. That's my problem.
It's like the ticks. The ticks that they've been dropping up in Canada, they're making them, they've evolved and made them be able to survive cold weather. It's no different than gain of function. You went in there, you messed around, you're messing with biology and virology purposely to change something.
Mm-hmm.
And the change is not to ever help us. Let's be honest. It's not to ever help us. It can't be, because it's in the hands of people like Google and Bill Gates and whoever else, none of it's here. None of this change is to help us. It's them in a laboratory mucking around.
6.8 billion.
Sorry, that was Bill Gates talking.
Right.
I don't know why.
Billy Boy. And again, don't know how any of these people are still walking the face of this earth. But if we find out they're half alien, how do you prosecute them, Greg?
Yep, you need a new law.
Got to get that one world government law. You got to change the law. And that's how people will go for it. People are like, I want to see arrests.
Oh.
Yes, how do we prosecute these people?
Good
Change
point.
the law.
Good point.
See?
So I have this video here, and it kind of talks about it. We can watch a little bit of it. We might not need to watch the entire thing, but it's like the news. They kind of talk about this. So let's see what they have to say.
Google is best known for search engines and smartphones. So you might wonder why the company is proposing to release millions of bioengineered mosquitoes in Florida. It is part of an effort to reduce the spread of dangerous diseases like West Nile virus. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Eric Glasser explains the science behind this idea and why the tech giant is involved.
No.
Well, it may sound unusual, but Google has filed an application with the EPA seeking approval to release up to 32 million specially treated mosquitoes.
Why do news anchors have to talk like this? This is the most important topic that you'll ever hear.
Listen, it's their stage voice. I remember someone left a dumb comment once thinking your voice was fake. And I'm like, no, that's Greg's voice.
Yeah.
That's how he talks.
Yep.
But yeah, it's their stage voice, brother.
This is incredibly fucking annoying.
I know people in the news business, and it is annoying when you're hanging with them and they talk. I go, well, you really do talk like that.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
They kind of have to, I guess.
They just either they do it so often, but yeah, it's to, and listen, they're not going to listen to someone who's yammering on like me.
Yeah,
they're going to be like,
might.
hey, well, they might. It's the glasses though. So, it's just.
Let's listen to this blowhard a little bit.
In Florida and California over the next 2 years. The proposal is part of Google's Debug Initiative, a project launched more than a decade ago to find new ways to control mosquitoes, which spread diseases, making them the deadliest animal on the planet.
Mosquitoes are the #1 cause of death of humans. I mean, why not? We'll help the human race.
The mosquitoes would be bioengineered, infected intentionally with a naturally occurring bacteria called Wolbachia. Scientists say when the sterilized male mosquitoes then mate with wild females, the eggs don't hatch.
That can cause a dip in the population, and I'm sure that the places that are trying this now, that's what they're looking for.
And because only female mosquitoes bite people, experts say the release would not increase the number of biting mosquitoes. So what do folks think about this massive mosquito release?
I think it's interesting. I'm not sure about whether I want it in my backyard because there could be a lot of things that go wrong.
You know, when you make a commitment like that, you really can't step back from it.
If it's proven to work and it's going to keep them from breeding more, I guess it could work.
Google says it plans to use artificial intelligence and robotic systems to help breed and sort the mosquitoes on a scale large enough to make the strategy effective.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
It's going to use AI and whatever to like manufacture the scale of the production of these things.
Now you're saying this is from 10 years ago? Or
No, this is going to happen now, brother.
And guess where they're doing it? Oh, Florida. I feel sorry for Florida. They're always the ones that get dumped with shit.
Yeah, well, it's still that's where the Oxitec mosquitoes were placed. Actually, in Texas too. And part of the study is they wanted to see how far they would spread. Like, where else? What other states are we finding these in? You know what I mean? It's like,
Just
what the fuck?
Let people just live. Leave us alone. What are you? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly why, right? And it makes you wonder why. And I don't know if it's to introduce disease, right?
Oh, for sure.
And,
for sure.
You know, or introduce something else that these mosquitoes were bioengineered to deliver, right? Some sort of medication, maybe.
Yeah.
Have it.
Listen, you know how they make their money? It's Big Pharma, and Big Pharma makes their money by us humans taking medication for everything. So all of a sudden you get bitten by a tick, you got Lyme disease, or you get bitten by a female mosquito, and you've got, whatever disease, skeet disease.
Chikungunya.
That's what I mean, right? And it's just like, yeah. And then you're on all the stuff that you have to pay for to be healthy, to feel alive, all the pharmaceutical stuff, but all the V stuff, little V, small V stuff is always free. Don't you find that funny that those are free?
Yep.
And everything else you have to pay for because they cause the effect. And then they have the antidote.
The cure you got to pay for, right?
The cure. That's it. Pay for the cure.
Yep. So that was that. And like, we'll see where this goes, but it's just like, again, why do you have these big tech giants getting involved with biotechnology and
what I mean.
Bioengineering mosquitoes,
Yeah. And this is how I kind of wake up my friends that are still not awake. I go, why is this person or why is this company involved? And they're like, well, and they kind of think about it. And then I just leave the room and let them ponder for the next, 6-7 months until I see them again. It's just like, just think about it that way. Just think about it that way. Why do we have non-governing, unelected people telling us what to do, which happened during COVID?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I honestly don't know what to think about this. Like, you can see how certain people that they interviewed were kind of okay with it because they're like, well, if you can prove it that it works, then I guess we should do it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
guess why? Because their pineal gland is calcium. Those are the people whose pineal gland are they can't see past their hand, and that's kind of ties in what we said before. Like, how can some people immediately go, that's a little fishy, and then some people go, well, it's not even just brainwashing, it's just their brain dead.
Well, isn't it interesting how like certain animals can go extinct, but like mosquitoes can never go extinct? It's like, can we not get to a point where we just kill and eradicate every single mosquito?
Yeah.
I mean, what would be the harm? Like, certain things don't have food, because mosquitoes are food for certain animals. I get that, but we can feed them something else, bro. I mean,
yeah. And mosquitoes love me. Like when I get bitten by a mosquito, it's like a wasp or bee sting. Like I'm allergic to it.
But it
I swell up.
It feels like you've been violated. Like they just got into my bloodstream. You know what I mean? Like who the fuck knows what's in there now? You know what I mean? So,
and that's why I mean with these GMO mosquitoes, we don't know when they do bite you what they're putting in you, folks. It's that. And Cassie made a good point. It's setting the stage so that they use it as a bioweapon to cover up something. So, like we really live in a world of really, really, really evil people. So they figure stuff out. They always have the antidote. They live for AIDS. Like Magic Johnson's had AIDS for how long? He's plump and fat as it can be. He's never.
Well, he had HIV.
They have the cure for some.
He never had AIDS, and I guess he got cured of HIV. Just doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, well,
shocker.
Got the money, honey.
So anyway, we'll see where that goes. I do want to touch on this last topic before we get out of here because this one was interesting. This was the loud sonic booms that Boston residents were hearing. Cops were probing this bizarre incident after an influx of 911 calls. This was all across New England Saturday afternoon. And, people from Massachusetts to Rhode Island, their buildings were shaking. And they were just calling in and saying like, hey, what the hell's going on? The United States Geology Survey later confirmed that the sound was likely from a suspected meteor. Unlike earthquakes, which occur at a distant location in the earth, sonic boom events occur along a linear path in the atmosphere. Therefore, the location provided is an approximation, the USGS says. And it says that the American Meteor Society said that the booms were heard around 2:30 p.m. and were actually caused, so they're being very sure of themselves here, actually caused by a meteor about 3 feet wide. Entering the atmosphere.
And nobody could see the meteor because during the day you couldn't see the meteor. Like anyone see the meteor?
I don't know if anybody saw it. Let's see here. Robert Lunsford, the Fireball program monitor with the society. Weird. That's like that's a position. The Fireball program monitor. What do you do for a living? I'm the Fireball program monitor. That's just what I am.
Get paid well. Mm-hmm.
He said that the group received dozens of reports from Delaware to Montreal with people either hearing the double boom, feeling the ground shake, or seeing the fireball. So people did see the fireball. It looked like a shooting star in the daytime. So I did.
Just two people making out behind the dumpster, folks. Come on. Boom, boom.
Right. So I have some video footage of this that I saved, and I think I might have the fireball on camera. Here, let's listen to this one. Boom, boom. Did you hear that?
Boom, boom. I did.
Sound like a large firework. Like, I honestly would have just assumed that that's a firework, but that's just me.
I would have thought that. Just like, oh, someone's sending off a firework, but...
Yeah, here is somebody inside their garage. Ooh.
What the hell is that?
What the hell?
It's a poltergeist.
See, this one was a gigantic boom.
Yeah, that one's...
No double boom.
No.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
Now, what do they tell you in every horror film? Don't go outside and look. Don't investigate.
The alien just landed. The alien is here, right? Here's some. This is South Carolina. This is not the same. This is South Carolina.
But none of these videos are caught the meteorite.
None
of them caught that.
No, but this was South Carolina on Thursday, May 28th. So this was like a couple days before. Well, yeah, this was a couple days before. Listen to this here. Let me back it up. Okay. Holy shit.
That hit a building or something?
I guess. The agency did not. So, like, there was booms multiple days beforehand. What's up, bud?
I want to go over Sarah's.
Okay, we can a little bit, okay? Give me a hug. All right. See you soon. Oh, okay. Love you, buddy.
Love you.
All right. Yeah, I coached his flag football game today. So he's still in his football gear.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like these booms. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Meteor spotted from Vermont. Here we go. Let's see what this is. Meteor. So right there in the back, you can kind of see it.
Oh.
All right, slow it way down. That's one. I think I have another video here. Oh, this is like weather radar reveals the meteor landed in Cape Cod Bay. I have no idea what the hell all this is. Is this just like...
What is that?
Like, what is that?
Iceberg?
It looks like satellite imagery. I don't know. Honestly. Yeah. Weather radar data. It's just a bunch of nerd shit, dude. I have no idea. But like, yeah, I have a video in here somewhere. Let me try to find it. But I mean, you get all these reports of the booms, aliens, and then there was like a gigantic boom of something.
I'll never get over the time that I think it was Whitney, myself, and Mike were on a Telegram call, and Mike had his camera, and it wasn't even raining, but there was like lightning in the sky, but it was like a strobe light, and you kept hearing these booms that sounded like that. They didn't sound like thunder. It looked like a war was going on. A galactic war was going up above the clouds. Dude, and I remember watching that being like, it's crazy.
I have a post that I'm going to read after this, but like, this is the video of the meteor that I saw. So you can see this guy's like driving. It's this like dash cam or something. See, just like this.
It's strange. It's coming straight down like that. Usually they come down this. Oh, maybe that's just because he's facing it a different way, but.
Right. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah.
Real fast, real big. I mean, I've seen shooting stars before, but never heard that loud ass boom. So this post right here,
boom,
by this one called Cab, he says mystery booms can have natural explanations, or they can be created by cloaked Galactic Federation crafts. Regardless, nothing reaches Earth without their approval. The signs and wonders prophesied in the last days will be whatever the Galactic Federation intends for us to see. Okay? This guy's all about it. And he's talking about all these booms. And a lot of this might be old footage, because I remember this happened a while ago, and like there were dogs freaking out, and this looks like old footage.
Yeah, and it's very distinct sound. It doesn't sound like thunder. So that would definitely, the animals know.
Damn, dude. Some of these houses just get like rocked. But like, that's the thing is, it's a double boom, like boom, boom, right? A lot of these, it just sounds like one boom. So I'm like, what is it? And was it just one boom in certain areas?
Yeah, I did. I was just thinking that too, being like one boom. Some of them are two. Some of them have more of a metal ting to it. Just,
right. So like, I'm thinking, do you think that this is tied into the alien thing? You know what I mean? Like, is this some sort of craft landing, entering our space or whatever? Like, what do you think?
See, I don't think they enter. I think they come up from the water, guys. I think they're in the oceans. I think they're from the ocean. So I don't know. I don't know. And the thing is, it could be, there was a very famous meteor that hit somewhere in Russia. It was a few years ago, and they had some phenomenal footage and stuff like that. Like that stuff can be real, but right now we are so weary of anything that we're going to pin it on on aliens, even if it wasn't. We'll be like, oh, it was aliens, because it's just there. It's just like that. But that's what they want us to think. So
Right.
some of that is natural occurring. We won't think it is. We're like, oh no, they're doing something.
Well, that's dude. I think you're right, because like honestly, think about the time of year it is. It's right when the cold weather hits the hot weather. You're going to get a lot of these like storm events too. But
yeah,
I don't know.
And you can have thunder. I was out walking the dog, and I remember the thunder just went boom, and I'm like, where is it? I looked around, because where I was, I'm in between these mountains where I was walking the dog. I didn't see any clouds and nothing. And then when I got in the car afterwards and drove home, on the other side, there was some clouds and a little bit of rain going. But from where I was at, I would have thought it could have been a sonic boom, because I didn't see anything, right? I was just like, well, what was that? It was loud. It spooked the dog.
Yeah, they're saying that the meteor radar analysis, that the likely splashdown area is 70 to 100 feet right in Cape Cod Bay. Very interesting. And they're saying that this thing was 45. Oh, wait. I want to know how big this thing was. What did they say?
Look, it could have been in the water coming out. And when it comes out, it makes that noise. You know what I'm saying? Like Richard says here, I agree with Flex. They're in the ocean. That's why they're always, space is fake. They always have us looking up because it's here underneath.
Yeah.
And the ocean scares the jeebus out of me, man. When I watch any footage of the ocean and these ships that are just battling, like cargo ships battling the waves, and I'm just like, if I watch any stuff with the Titanic, I get the heebie-jeebies. I'm just like, there's a whole different world down there, man. Just, we don't know anything about it. You know, we really don't.
Dude, and then another thing too is you have Congress talking about all these like human breeding programs. Like Matt Gaetz came out about it.
Yep.
Lauren Boebert is saying that there's lots of mentions of stargates and portals in these secret UFO files.
Yep.
Like, listen to this real quick.
And in today's world, that's really something. But even in these, even in some of the documentations that I'm seeing, there's a lot to do with even portals. And I'm interested in more information of that coming out as well. But even to be in a congressional hearing and have enough information to ask the question, is there breeding between these biological beings and humans? There's a there that needs to be answered. And I got a lot of heat from local papers at home and some folks, but we're just asking the questions. If someone is going to come to congressional office.
They're setting it up for this human, like just like you're saying.
Yeah.
Right?
I sent you a video last week that said aliens, portals, CERNs, and demons. And when I watched it, I'm like, yeah, this would make a lot of sense, you know. And I also sent you last week, if you want to play the video on Fox News, with the guys talking about the 4 different alien breeds, which we talked about tonight. The Nordic,
yep,
Swiss looking.
Yeah, here let's play that
Swiss
4-1 here real quick. Oh shoot, hold on.
Different species of aliens. Another.
Here, let me restart it.
Bet you didn't see this. 4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, insectoids, and reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall. We haven't seen the evidence, but Pete Hegseth says more evidence is coming. And there are a lot of believers in Congress.
I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion.
Releasing the files isn't easy. They've been hidden for years, and a lot of people want to keep it that way.
They actually did it. They actually did the Austin Powers meme.
They still won't let the Epstein files go, and they definitely don't want to support the war in Iran. Release the aliens.
So like, but the fact that this is a news outlet talking about these 4 different types.
That's why I was laughing. I was like, oh.
I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But I do believe with AI, they're using AI to open portals.
CERN.
I think we're in a different timeline. I think when they started CERN up in 2013, and that they did it again a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I think we either parallel with one or switching.
Well,
because
let's watch this.
I don't get it.
Let's watch this video real quick, and then we can call it a show here. Let's see here.
The elite and the government are opening up portals. They're summoning demons, all with AI data centers, and I'm going to show you how they're doing it. All right, so remember back in 2014 when Elon Musk said this?
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon?
I have exorcised the demon.
All right, and we can't forget about Gordy Rose, the creator of D-Wave, quantum computers, and Kindred.
And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons.
We're not demons.
They're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want.
And if they're not opening up portals, and if they're not summoning demons, then why do some of the biggest tech giants in the world keep stating this? Last week we had an ex-employee of OpenAI tell the New Yorker that they're definitely opening up portals and summoning demons in Saudi Arabia. Why? And the craziest part is about all of this is that if you look at where the AI data centers are, they're located in areas that have high ET traffic. So why else are they doing that, And if you don't know who Gordy Rose is, I highly, highly suggest doing a Google search on him, on his company D-Wave, Kindred, see what they've been up to. This is all information I shared with my community over a decade ago. So it's good to see that more and more people are becoming aware of all of these technologies and what they've really been up to in the shadows. Now, this clip right here,
it feels like an altar to an alien god.
Company D-Wave and his quantum computers have been able to tap into parallel universes.
Like 2 to the 500th power of these guys living in that chip.
Number of parallel universes. They've been able to tap into these parallel universes and basically steal resources from these, creating like a black hole, if you will, or a wormhole.
From the outside, they look like giant black monoliths, big metal boxes, about 10 feet on a side, 12 feet tall. And they are powered, they have a fridge inside them, a refrigerator that cools these chips to almost absolute zero. Just a wisp, a fraction of a degree above absolute zero. Hundreds of times colder than interstellar space. Amongst the coldest and most isolated and extreme conditions that humans have ever been able to engineer. These fridges, interestingly enough, which are called pulse tube dilution refrigerators, have a thing called a pulse tube, which emits a sound roughly once per second, which sounds eerily like a heartbeat. So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god.
It feels like an altar to an alien god.
They really are impressive machines. At the heart of this big box is a tiny chip about the size of your thumbnail. And on this chip, there really are parallel universes out there. And now imagine you have 2 that are exactly identical in every respect, all the way out to the horizon as far as we can see, down to the last little atomic detail of every single thing, with only one difference. And that's the value of a little thing called a qubit on this chip, which is a contraction of quantum bit. And that qubit is very much like a bit or a transistor in a conventional computer. It has 2 distinct physical states, which we call 0 and 1 for bit. In a conventional computer, these are mutually exclusive. That device is either one or the other and never anything else. In a quantum computer, that device can be in this strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. And when you increase the number of these devices, every time you add one of these qubits, you double the number of these parallel universes that you have access to. Until such time when you get to a chip like this, which has about 500 of these bits, you have something like 2 to the 500th power of these guys living in that chip.
Now, the crazy part is how CERN comes into all this and how the Mandela effect also plays into all this stuff. Now, as you just saw from that video with Gordy Rose talking about, almost an infinite number of parallel universes, that goes into the fact of timeline shifting, the Mandela effect, how, certain things that we remember from our childhood are one way, and now when you look them up, or if you ask people, they're a totally different way. So lots of things to think about. I'll drop a part 2 if I got a lot of traction on this video. So like, share, comment, and let me know what you think.
Dang, bro. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I've never heard of any of that.
They're almost having a TED Talk like seminar about it. And people are just sitting there like this. Oh, yeah. Not even thinking
Well, it's like, what do you say? Like, what do you...
The consequence that we can have. But talking about like... what do you call it? Mandela effect. I think what they're doing a lot with that is right now on my TV, I have one of my favorite TV shows from the 80s, Who's the Boss playing, and it's just different episodes. I've watched the show so many times that I know they've edited out scenes. They've taken out scenes. So they can take out scenes, they can change things, and you can only do that with the streaming, not with a hard copy. So I think that's what they're doing. A lot of that is to mess with us. I don't know why they would take some of the scenes out. I'll be like, there's a funny line they just took out there to go to the next thing. I'm like, is it for commercial break? I don't know, but that's what they can do. And I think
maybe just to mess with everybody too. You know what I mean? Like they do it just to mess with you. Like I've seen like the Monopoly guy have a monocle and then not have a monocle. So I'm like, does he not have a monocle? I always thought he did.
I think it's funny because I kind of was yelling at the TV going to Crave TV. I'm like, why would you be taking that out? So I have it running all day just when I'm editing. And I've watched the show enough times that I've memorized being like, it'd be like any show that you love watching, Seinfeld, and you'd be like, wait a minute, wasn't there an extra part? And that's what they're doing. And I think it's to mess with us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's no other reason.
I know, man. Unless it's like an unintended consequence that they weren't planning for, but like still, I don't know. Because it
awkward.
It is like inconsequential changes. You know what I mean? Like who gives a fuck if the Monopoly guy has a monocle or not, right? Or the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia goes away. Don't really care. But like if that changes, that at that minute scale, what changes at the larger scale? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you have people arguing about it, being, I remember it this way, I remember it that way. So if we're arguing about whether he has a monocle or not, if we're arguing whether the Fruit of the Loom had a basket with in their logo, whether there was a Shazam or Shabam movie with people in it, then guess what? We're not talking about Epstein. We're not talking about corruption. We're arguing about the simple shit, which is easy for them. Just it's entertainment to them. Let's just change this, and we won't think about anything else.
Dude, what if they come out with, and then we can call it good because I'm gonna have to get up there. But like, what if they come out with multi dimensions that you can choose which one you want to live in? You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm all for it. I used to love when I used back in the day. Choose your own adventure books. I don't remember if you guys remember those books. You'd read a book and then you get to choose your own adventure at the end of the chapter. It would say, do you want to do this, do that?
Yeah.
So you'd have multiple endings. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like the movie Clue. They give you multiple endings.
Yeah. That's I know Bandersnatch. That was a movie from Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out with, and it's a choose your own as you're watching it. Like, well, which way?
Oh,
do you
I
want
remember that.
Yeah, so it's just kind of.
I do remember that.
I don't know.
That was that.
You know what I mean?
That was fun. That was fun because I wasn't awake then. Now that I'm awake, I'm like, oh, are they testing us here? Like,
Yeah,
and
I could
that's upsetting.
definitely, I could see them having an option to choose which dimension you want to go to, and then you have to pay a certain premium to like make it nicer. I don't know, add whatever.
And we're doing it now with voting. Choose your own adventure. Do you want to go Democrat? Do you
boy.
want to go Republican? Do you want to go, this or that? So it's just kind of like, either way, you're screwed with it. But that would be fun if I didn't think they were using it against us. So hopefully the good guys will win and we can.
Oh, they
at
will.
least get out of this timeline.
Right.
Get out of this timeline.
Yes, indeedy. Well, hey, we're not going to get out of the timeline, but we are going to get out of this show. So everybody watching, thanks for joining in the chat. Leave the like button or click the like button. Leave a comment. Go over to Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. Leave a rating and review over there. We're trying to get over 100 reviews. So please give us some love over on Apple Podcasts because that helps us.
Is this our last one before you have to tear stuff down?
So we'll talk more about it, but no. I'll have at least next week, and then we might have some time in the interim. So we'll figure some things out.
Okay.
And yeah, because everybody, I am moving. The sauna's going away. I'm gonna have a new space. It's gonna take some time though. Anyway,
he's moving to Canada.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No more Canada. No. Anyway,
no more Canada. You haven't got enough of Canada.
I know.
should be saying no more Canada.
That's true. That's true. So anyway, speaking of Canada, Flex, you stay safe up there. Don't forget elbows up. Okay, keep those elbows up.
My elbows will be up tonight because I'm smoking a woohoo
there you
right
go.
after I get up.
There you go, brother.
Elbows up, bitches.
Right on. And everybody else, you stay steamy out there, okay?
We're live.